Chapter 10 The Long Party. I hope we're not too early. Grace Windsor Wexler always arrived at parties fashionably late. But not tonight. She didn't want to miss a thing, or a clue, or wait around in her apartment with a murderer on the loose. I don't think you've met my husband, Dr. Wexler. Call me Jake. Hello, Jake, Judge Ford said. A firm handshake, laugh lines around his eyes. He needed a sense of humor with that social climbing wife. What a lovely living room. So practically furnished, Grace commented. Our apartments are identical in layout, but mine looks so different. You must come and see what I've done with it. I'm a decorator, you know. 3 bedrooms do seem rather spacious for a single woman. What does she mean, 3 bedrooms? This is a 1-bedroom apartment. Would you care for an appetizer, Mrs. Wexler? I'm curious to know exactly how you are related to the Westing family. The judge had hoped to take the heiress by surprise, but Grace gained time by coughing. Goodness, that ginger is spicy. It's the Szechuan cooking style, you know. How am I related? Let me see. Uncle Sam was my father's oldest brother. Or was he the youngest brother of my father's father? Excuse me, I have to greet my other guests. The judge left the prattling pretender. Father's brother or father's father's brother. If the relationship was on the paternal side, her maiden name would be Westing. The party went on and on. No one dared be first to leave. Safety in numbers, especially with the judge there. So the guests ate and drank and jabbered, and they watched the other guests eat and drink and jabber. No one laughed. Guess murder isn't very funny, Jake Wexler said. Neither is money, Mr. Hu replied glumly. Deciding that his wife had found the perfect partner, the podiatrist moved on to the 2 women standing in silence at the front window. Cheer up, Angie Pie. You'll see your Denton soon enough. His daughter twisted out of his embrace. Are you all right, Angela? I'm fine. She was not fine. Why did they ask about Denton all the time? As though she was a nobody without him. Oh, it wasn't just that. It wasn't even the humiliation of her mother chiding her about the twin costume in front of everybody and sending her back to their apartment to change clothes. It was more than that. It was everything. Jake turned to Madam Hu. Hi there, partner. She doesn't speak English, Dad, Angela said flatly. And she never will, Angela, if no one talks to her. Snow, said Madam Hu. Jake followed her pointing finger. That's right, snow. Lots and lots of snow. Snow, trees, road, Lake Michigan. China, said Madam Hu. China? Sure, why not? Jake replied. China. Angela left the chatting couple. Why couldn't she have made some sort of friendly gesture? Because she might do the wrong thing and annoy her mother. Angela, the obedient daughter, did only what her mother told her to do. Hello, Angela. One of these tidbits might cheer you up. Judge Ford held the tray before her. I hear you'll be getting married soon. Some people have all the luck, Sidel Pileski said, peering from nowhere to lean over the tray to spear a cube of pork. Of course not all us women have opted for marriage, right, Judge Ford? Some of us prefer the professional life, though I must say, if a handsome young doctor like Denton Deere proposed to me, I might just change my mind. Too bad he doesn't happen to be twins. Excuse me. The judge moved away. I'm not having any luck at all, Angela, Sidel whined. If only your mother hadn't made you change clothes, someone surely would have mentioned twin. It's much harder to judge reactions when I have to bring up the subject myself. You shouldn't let your mother boss you like that. You're a grown woman, about to be married. Excuse me. Angela moved away. Yes, thank you. I would like a refill, Siddell said to nobody and hobbled to the bar. Something non-alcoholic, please. Doctor's orders. Make it a double. Twins. Twins? What's she talking about? Theo wondered, staring at the black and white checkered costume. 2 ginger ales for the chessboard coming right up. Hidden among her guests, the judge studied the 2 people standing off in the corner. The only pair in Sunset Towers who were not Westing heirs. George Theodorcus placed his hand on the shoulder of his invalid son. A large, bronze, hard-working hand. Like Theo's. Theo resembled him in many ways. Tall, wide shoulders, slim-waisted. The same thick, straight black hair, but age had chiseled the father's face into sharper planes. His troubled eyes stared across the room at Angela. Catherine Theodorcus, a slight, careworn woman, gazed down on her younger son with tired, dark-circled eyes. From his wheelchair, Chris watched legs. Other than the funny lady with the shorthand notes, the only limpers were his brother Theo, Turtle had kicked him again, and Mrs. Wexler, who stood on one leg rubbing her stockinged foot against her calf. A high-heeled shoe stood alone on the carpet beneath her. Judge Ford didn't limp. Besides, she couldn't be a murderer, in spite of his clues. Nobody here looks like a murderer. They're all nice people. Even this fat Chinese man who grumbles all the time. George Theodorcus greeted Mr. Hu with, "How's business?" Hu spun around and stomped off from his fellow restaurant owner in a huff of anger. James Hu, inventor, that's who the judge wanted to talk to. But there was a problem at the bar. A long line had formed and it wasn't moving. There are 16 white pieces and 16 black pieces in chess, Theo was explaining to Siddell Pulaski. Do you play chess, Judge Ford? A bit, but I haven't played in years. The judge led the secretary away from the crowded bar. Theo must think the Westing game has something to do with chess. He may be right. It certainly is as complicated as a chess game. But I did study, Doug was arguing. The judge interrupted. I haven't had a chance to thank you for the delicious food, Mr. Hu. How long have you been in the restaurant business? Running up and down stairs is not studying, Hu said. Siddell Pulaski butted in. Father and son, you look more like twins. You're equal partners with that Theodorcus kid, Hu continued. Why didn't you insist on holding the meeting in our restaurant instead of that greasy coffee shop? Because some people don't like chow mein for breakfast, Siddell Pulaski replied. There you are, dear. Grace patted a stray wisp of Angela's hair into place. We must do something about your coiffure. I'll make an appointment for you with my hairdresser once the snow is cleared. Long hair is too youthful for a woman about to be married. I can't understand what's gotten into you, Angela, coming to this party in that old checkered dress and those awful accessories, just because your partner dresses like a freak. She's not a freak, Mother. I was just speaking to Mr. Hu about catering the wedding shower on Saturday. I arranged for a little Madame Hu to serve in one of those slinky Chinese gowns. Where are you going, Angela?" Angela rushed into Judge Ford's kitchen. She had to get away. She had to be alone, by herself, or she'd burst out crying. She was not alone. Crow was there. The two women stared at each other in surprise, then turned away. Poor baby. Crow wanted to reach out to the pretty child. She wanted to take her in her arms and say, "Poor, poor baby, go ahead and cry." But she couldn't. All she could say was, "Here." Angela took the dish towel from the cleaning woman and bunched it against her face to muffle the wrenching sobs. The guests jabbered on and on about the weather, about the food, about football, about chess, about twins. Turtle was slumped on the couch, scornful of dumb grown-up parties. You'd think one of them would know something about the stock market. She missed Sandy. Sandy was the only one in this dumb building she could talk to. "Remember that quotation? 'May God thy gold refine'?" Flora Baumbach asked. "Let's take a poll. I'll bet 10 cents it's from the Bible." "Shakespeare," Turtle argued. "And make it $10. "Oh my. Well, all right, $10. Together they made the rounds. 4 votes for the Bible, 3 for Shakespeare, and 1 abstention. Madame Hu did not understand the question. Sidel Pulaski voted for the Bobbsey twins. "And how do you know those words were in the will?" she asked suspiciously. Too suspiciously. "So that's what lost important business papers meant somebody stole the shorthand notes." Turtle smiled at the delicious nastiness of it all. "I remember, that's all." "If you remember so well, tell me what comes before that," Sidel challenged. "I don't know what." The secretary had an audience now. "I don't mind telling you, but not if you ask like that." Theo said, "Please." Not Turtle. Sidel turned toward him with what should have been a gracious manner, but she grimaced with the top of the crutch poked in her chest. "The exact quotation," she announced loudly, hoping she was right, "is 'Spend it wisely, and may God thy gold refine.'" Right or wrong, her guess was received with groans of disappointment. The heirs had expected more. A hint, a clue, something. It was time to go home.